Alright, testing, connecting, texting. Alright, part 1106, proceed with the Survey of the Transportation Board consideration safety integration plans in cases involving railroad consolidation, mergers, acquisition, control. 11061, purpose. 11063, definition. 1106, action with the safety integration plan is required. 11064, the safety integration plan process. 11065, the waiver to 11066, reservation jurisdiction. 1106, 1. Purpose of this design of the ensure for the adequate consideration, coordinate with the conservation, safety, and integrated issue with both board and federal railroad administration agency with the Department of Transportation responsible for the enforcement railroad the implementation of railroad transportation railroad transaction subject with the board jurisdiction established the procedure by the board will consider safely the integration plan with the connection with the approval of the authorization transaction from which the board has concluded with the authorization required. 11062, the definition following definitions apply with this Bar Act, meaning the Interstate Commerce Commission Determination Act of 1995, Public Law 104/88 and 109 Statute 803. Amalgamation operation is defined by the Federal Railroad Administration Title 49(2)4049 with the means of the integration, combination, unification of the one set of the railroad operation for the another set of the railroad operation, including but not limited to allocation resources affecting the railroad operation, changes in personnel, track with bridges, communication signal system, use and deployment of the maintenance equipment, locomotives, freight and passenger cars. Applicant means a Class 1 railroad or Class 2 railroad engaging the transaction subject within this part. Board means serve the Transportation Board. Class 1, Class 2 railroad has the meaning assigned by the board regulation. Title 49 CFR 1201 General Instruction 11 for the regulation may be provided to the board, including modification of the class threshold made with the revenue deflator formula from time to time. Environmental documentation means either environmental assessment or environmental impact as a statement that prepared with accordance with the National Environmental Policy Act of the Board Environmental Rules of the Title 49 CFR 1105. Federal Railroad Administration means the FRA means the agency with the Department of Transportation responsible for railroad safety. Office of Environmental Analysis OEA means the office of the preparer for the Board Environmental Documentation and Analysis. Safety Integration Plan the means of the comprehensive written plan prepared with accordance with the FRA guideline regulation explaining with the process the applicant intent of the integrated with the operation property involved with the man with which for the maintain safety every step of the integration property the board provides approve the transaction from the SIP or safety integration plan. Transaction may be the application Class 1 railroad that purpose of the consolidated with the merge acquired with the control of the Title 49 CFR 11323A of the other Class 1 railroad with a Class 2 railroad where there is proposed an amalgamation of the operation defined in FRA regulation Title 49 CFR 244 9 transaction also include the proceeding with these specified above the board includes the safety integration plan is necessary and proper consideration application of the request authority. 11063 action within the safety integration plan is required. Safety integration plan should be filed by an applicant requesting authority to undertake the transaction defined in 11062 with this subpart. 11064 safety integration plan process. Each applicant transaction subject of the part with the following with the safety integration plan according to the information requirement prescribed in Title 49 CFR 244 for the other FRA guidelines regarding the contents of the safety integration plan, Office of Environmental Analysis, and our FRA no later within 60 days of the date for the applicant is filed with the board. Provide with the safety integration plan, they should be made with the environmental record with the board proceeding with the ongoing environmental review process of Title 49 CFR 1105. The procedure governing process show the following. According to Title 49 CFR 244 17. The FRA provided the finding the conclusion of the accuracy of the proposed safety integration plan. Step of the proposed safety integration plan established for the provided the reasonable assurance of the safety executing the proposed transaction office environmental assessment and offers environmental analysis of the date sufficiently advanced for the board issuance of the item of the draft environmental documentation came with the permit or incorporation draft environmental documentation shall incorporate the proper safety integration plan revision modification based on the further consultation with the FRA. The FRA's written comments regarding the safety integration plan. The holders may review the comment with the draft environmental documentation over the time limits prescribed by the Office of Environmental Assessment. Office of Environmental Assessment independently review the safety integration plan. Final environmental documentation. Office of Environmental Assessment will be addressed with the written comments for the proposed safety integration plan received during the time established submitting the comments for the draft environmental documentation. Board will consider the full environmental record, including the information concerning the safety integration plan, arriving in the decision in the case the board approves transaction adopted the safety integration plan. It will require the comply with the safety integration plan with this condition approval of each of the applicants involved with the transaction, then should coordinate the FRA implementing and approve the safety integration plan, including the amendment thereto the FRA with the rules of Title 49 CFR 244 17G with the information with the board during implementation with the Bureau of the approved the transaction will assist the board to extract the continuing jurisdiction over the transaction. The FRA also have to agree with the divide of the board when it is in view of the integration of the applicant and the operation safely completed. If the safety integration plan required with the transaction would not be subject to environmental review under the board's environmental rule, the Title 49 CFR 1105, the board will develop the appropriate specific safety integration plan proceed with the based on the facts and circumstances presented. With 111065, the waiver, the safety integration plan requirements established by the part must be may be waived to modify the board when the railroad show that the relief of the warranted appropriate. 1106 the reservation jurisdiction board received the right to require the safety integration plan capable other than the enumerated of the part with the top of the modified the safety integration plan require the identified individual capable to conclude with the doing the necessary and proper consideration application of the requested authority. Part 1108 arbitration of the certain dispute subject to the statutory jurisdiction of the Surface Transportation Board. And that was part 1106 procedure for the Transportation Board conservation safety integration plan in case involved the railroad constellation mergers acquisition of control.